Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and review the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that intro! This week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. The summer of superheroes continues, and on this episode, I'm wearing a Green Lantern Comic Hero tee. Now, I know last week I said I was going to wear a Black Panther one, but I decided that I'm going to save that one for episode 316. Now, inside the speech bubble of this Green Lantern Comic Hero tee are some LED lights. I kind of used my imagination when I came up with this, and then also the Green Lantern logo on the sleeves, and to go along with it, this Green Lantern hat. Now, the Green Lantern Corps is an intergalactic police force, and they have different sectors throughout the universe, and they have usually 2 to 5 Green Lanterns to each sector. And some of the most popular Green Lanterns are Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, and then 2 of my favorites, John Stewart and Kyle Rayner. And also, there's another up-and-coming Green Lantern that I really like by the name of Sojourner Mulane, who has their own maxi series for DC called Far Sector, which, by the way, is one of the books featured in the comic books I bought this week segment. Really love the. I've been a long-time fan of anything Green Lantern, and yeah. Next week, I'm going to wear a Storm Comic Hero tee. All right. Time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode, I asked which DC villain is the only character in the DC universe who's immune to Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. Now, I gave some hints. The first hint is that this character is celebrating their 80th anniversary this year. The second hint, this character is one of the most deadliest villains in comics. And not just DC comics, but comics in general. And then the third and final hint, Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Mark Hamill, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, and Joaquin Phoenix all portrayed this character in the big and small screens. Well, the correct answer is the Joker. And 16 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, the names have been entered in the drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Bonnie Blackwell from Shreveport, Louisiana. So congratulations, Bonnie. We're yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Marvel question. What was the name of the Marvel miniseries in which the short-lived Superhero Registration Act was passed? Now here's some hints with this one. The first hint is that this miniseries also inspired the third Captain America movie. Alright, second hint. And this may be a dead giveaway. And this is also a good hint for you sports fans out there. The name of this miniseries is also the name of the football rivalry between Oregon and Oregon State. And this is the third and final hint, and this is a dead giveaway, especially if you're a history buff. The name of this miniseries is also the name of a war fought here in America from 1861 to 1865. Everyone who answers correctly been in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Alright, now D'Angelo Blue from Warren, Ohio has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features an anime character going up against a video game character. Representing Dark Horse Manga, we have Guts, and representing Killer Instinct, we have Tusk. These two are gonna duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, It's Guts versus Tusk. Guts has incredible strength and physical resilience, even though he is a mortal human with no supernatural powers. Due to his extensive training since a very young age, his strength and endurance is practically superhuman. He is able to swing his massive Dragon Slayer sword with incredible speed, even with just one hand. He has also survived numerous impacts that would kill a regular man, even without the protection of armor. It is also noted that the Hellhound, Guts' inner beast, devours the souls of the apostles and other malignant spirits that assault him daily from the interstice, a realm existing between the astral plane and physical reality, increasing his power along with Guts. Guts' most powerful ability, however, is his mysterious immunity to the concept of fate, allowing him to do impossible things through sheer willpower. Tusk is a mid-range bullying style fighter who possesses berserker strength. Who would win? This fight would be an evenly fought match that draws an abrupt end. The two would punch, kick, and swing swords at each other for almost an hour. Even though the fight would be back and forth, Tusk would start bullying Guts. Tusk is about to find out that bullying has consequences. Guts becomes so enraged by Tusk bullying him that the fight ends suddenly when the Hellhound devours Tusk's soul. Guts wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown! Thank you, D'Angelo Blue, for that fight request. I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll have another one for next week. Now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, now I recently got caught up with the Wonder Twins Massive series by DC. I finished it a few days ago. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, the Wonder Twins are characters who were created for the TV show Super Friends. They were created by Norman Maurer. And they were on the show sporadically from 1977 until 1985. Then 10 years later, they finally come to regular DC Comics continuity with the 5th issue of Extreme Justice. And they were on, and then after the cancellation of the book, they showed up sparingly in the DC universe until 2003. And after that, DC did not include the characters nor Gleek in any other book. But then 2 years ago, when Brian Michael Bendis came to DC, he was announcing that he was starting a new line of books called Wonder Comics, and this pretty much talks in Wonder Comics. It's mainly teenage superheroes, and he announced that the Wonder Twins were going to be included in that. And I thought, okay, maybe. Now there were some folks that either laughed or were extremely hacked off about it. Me personally, because I enjoyed them on the Super Friends, I figured that they were going to be great, and so far this miniseries has not disappointed. Now, it started out as a monthly series, but then after the 6th issue, DC had decided to cancel the book after the 12th issue and make it a maxi series instead. And it follows the Wonder Twins as interns at the Hall of Justice. And along the way, they end up taking down some D-list characters. They end up saving the world from having their brain scrambled. They ended up saving their best friend's father from the Phantom Zone. And then they ended up getting their own division within the Hall of Justice. And really enjoyed this book. I hate that it only lasted 12 issues. But it was great. I mean, it was written by Mark Russell with art by Stephen Byrne in every issue except one, where the art was done by former X-Men artist Mike Norton. And really enjoyed it. And now they're members of Young Justice. And for those of y'all that have slept on the Wonder Twins, y'all are really missing out, because there's some really cool stuff. They're having some really cool stuff written. I mean, great stuff. I mean, I recommend it to anyone. Alright, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Action Comics number 1022. Catwoman number 22. Very excited about this one. The Catwoman 80th Anniversary Special. Detective Comics number 1022. Event Leviathan number 3. Far Sector number 6. Justice League Dark number 22. Shazam number 12. And finally, Wonder Woman number 756. Alright, that's 9, which brings the total number of comics that I've bought since December of 1997 to 10,019. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What was the name of the Marvel miniseries in which the short-lived Superhero Registration Act was passed? Now, here's some hints. The first hint, this miniseries inspired the third Captain America movie. Second hint, this miniseries is also the name of the football rivalry between Oregon and Oregon State. And the third and final hint, this miniseries is also the name of a war fought here in America from 1861 to 1865. Everyone who answers correctly will be in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Bonnie Blackwell from Shreveport, Louisiana, who won a free tee on this week's episode. Alright, now next week, again, I'm going to wear a Storm comic hero tee. Now, Storm has been a member of the X-Men since she made her debut back in 1975. And that's been 45 years ago, and she just happens to be one of my favorite characters in comics. And you know what, I just want to go ahead and leave y'all with this. Let's be kind to one another. And you know, I might have said that before, but let's just be kind. I mean, it doesn't cost any money. It's not a waste of time to be kind to other people. And if somebody decides that they don't want to return a favor, don't let them steal your joy. You keep on being kind. You keep on walking with your head held high. I've known way too many people that used to be one of the nicest people in the world, and then all of a sudden they became bitter, all because they let someone else steal their joy. But let me tell you something. There's only one person that gets to have the last word on whether you decide to be kind or not, on whether on any decision you may make in life, and that person is you. It starts with you and it ends with you. Alright, I'm Victor Nolly on The Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode number 315. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and beware my power. Green Lantern's light.